I have to say that since my interest in the Shakespeare authorship question was sparked by the appearance of Peter Amundsen on the television show The Curse of Oak Island, out of all the codes I've seen, the ones I found most interesting and just mind-blowing are the ones discovered by Alexander Waugh on the Sonnets Dedication grid. In video 14, I talk about a Masonic-type group referred to as the Twice 11 Brethren that Edward de Vere may have been a part of or even founded. Though technically this might not be their actual name but a kind of nickname or moniker, I believe it's tied into what's found within the dedication grid. Twice 11 is 22, and the 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Tav or Tau, and Latin and Greek drawn like a letter T or a cross. So Twice 11 Brethren means Brothers of the Cross. The Sonnets Dedication has exactly 19 letter T's. With Gematria, T is the 19th letter, and the Sonnet's verse, if you count all the double V's, there's 19. Again, T is a cross, and we have this name, Brothers of the Cross. And as I showed in my last video, double V is sometimes used to indicate or refer to Edward de Vere. With Gematria, T is equal to 19, and there's 19 double V's in the sonnets. If the words from the dedication are written into a 19 grid pattern, not just a few but several messages are found in the shapes of crosses and letter I's. Now the vast majority of these messages, or Rebuses, were found by Alexander Waugh, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about them. He thoroughly explains their meaning and how he discovered them in his videos Where is Shakespeare Really Buried, which is required viewing by anyone interested in this subject. I'm just going to quickly go over the shapes of Rebuses and then start pointing some things out. In column 10, in the shape of a letter I for Iesus, or Jesus, is the Latin abbreviation for In Iesum Veritas Venit, or In Jesus the Truth Comes. In column 9 is an upside down or fourth T with the letters de Vere. Above it is a sideways T with the abbreviated In Signo Hoc Vinces, or In This Sign You Shall Conquer. Adding to column 9 is another letter I, and the message is EDV for Edward de Vere lies here. In column 7 is another upside-down cross, also known as the Cross of St. Peter because he was crucified upside down. In it spells South Isle. Other letters are added to column 7, making a third letter I, and we have Christe eleison, or Christ have mercy. And then in column 3, this part of the message is completed with the cross-shaped structure of Westminster Abbey. If you look at the floor plan of Westminster Abbey, this is its shape, and in the Rebus it even says, The Westminster. In the middle of it, you see a single letter, D, letting us know the brilliant mind behind this encryption, John D. When the message is fully understood, it says, To the Westminster, at South Cross Isle, St. Peter's, Edward de Vere lies here. Christ have mercy. The next messages are about Waugh's theory that Henry de Vere, the 18th Earl of Oxford, was not the natural son of Edward de Vere, but Henry Wriothesley, the 3rd Earl of Southampton. This is in the shape of what's called a cross potent, and the letters within it spell Heed Vere's paternity lie. In column 14, in another upside-down T, there's Vere's line. Again, please see Waugh's videos for an explanation as to why these shapes look the way they do, and why they're in certain column numbers. In column 17, row 4, in the shape of a T, or 1740, is the Latin abbreviation for Sine Prole M, or Mascula, which means without male issue, or without male descendants. The next couple Rebuses I found, and are in videos 5 and 6. The first is in column 12, and is a cross-shaped set of scales. The letters within the cross spell ensuing son, Henry Oxford, spelled with 4-letter T's. Please see video 5 for details. In the two bowls are the words Taylor Rose, or Rose Cloth. This all has to do with Henry Wriothesley being the father of Henry de Vere. Scales symbolize the astrological sign of Libra, and Henry Wriothesley was born in October under the sign of Libra. Understandably, Waugh believes that the column numbers have significance. The Wriothesley scales appear in column 12. With Latin Gematria, the 12th letter is M. In Hebrew, M or Mem has the value of 40, de Vere's code number, explained in the previous videos. Something I'd like to point out is that in previous videos I have 12 being equal to the number of letters in Edward de Vere and Earl of Oxford. His Earl and code number 1740 adds up to 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 0 equaling 12, and the Sonnets Dedication is 12 lines, and ever, E-Vere, and an anagram of Vere is printed 12 times in the verse. 29 shows up in the codes equaling EDV with Gematria, but 29 is equal to 17 plus 12. 12 is M or Mem, which has the value of 40 in Hebrew. So, like the number 57's 17 plus 40, 29 is 17 plus mem, or 17 plus 40. So the scales are in column 12, or M. M is mem in Hebrew, which has the value of 40, De Vere's code number. In column 13, there's a cross of Lorraine, or cross d'Anjou, explained in video 6. In that video, it wasn't definite, but I thought there might have been a rebus in the shape of a key. Please disregard that, because all the messages are in the shape of an I or a T. I for Iasis, T for the cross. The cross of Lorraine is comprised of two crosses. In the upper cross, there's the letters for God's sign, and in the lower it says the truth. It's in column 13 because, again, in Hebrew, the 13th letter is mem, with the value of 40. In Latin, M is the 12th letter, but in Hebrew, mem is the 13th. Again, 40 is De Vere's code number. A few months ago, Alexander Waugh asked me to look at the word arete in column 12. In Greek, arete means excellence. I noticed at the top are the letters V, H, P. In classical Greek, H or eta is pronounced as the long vowel E. And also in Greek, the letter P is rho or R. So this is a rebus of a spear, the Greek arete tipped with the Greek letters for V-E-R or vir. This spear is also in the shape of a cross. It's in column 10 because in Roman numerals 10 is X, which in Greek is the letter chi or chi, the first letter of Christos or Christ. Now I want to focus on another meaning that these rebuses might have, having to do with the concept of God and vir. First, there's the messages contained within the three-letter I's. Again, I stands for Iasis or Jesus. Next, count the number of messages in the shape of a cross. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11. So three-letter I's for the Trinity times 11 crosses equals 33. 33 is the age in which Christ was believed to have been crucified and is the number of degrees in Freemasonry. I explained in video 14 how we know that the double tau initials of the sonnets represent Edward de Vere. In videos 2 and 9, I explained how the dedication initials are printed so as to resemble both T and G. In Greek, G or gamma is equal to 3, so the initials can also be understood as 33 or 33, Christ's number. With the letters also being two T's, we have the concept of God and vir. Let's test that by counting the exact number of crosses. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the cross potent is one cross made up of 4 individual crosses for a total of 5. That's 9 crosses so far. Let's keep counting. 10, 11. Okay, the scale is rebus, which isn't a cross but cross-shaped, one on top and one inverted, 2 crosses for a total of 13. And then the cross of Lorraine, which is an actual cross. Like the cross potent, it's a single cross made up of 2 individual crosses, so that's 3 for a total of 16. And lastly, the Vere arete spear for a total of 17 crosses. Edward de Vere was the 17th Earl of Oxford. So if we add up all the messages, there's 14. As I explained in previous videos, in classical Greek, H or eta represents the long vowel E. Lowercase eta is drawn like a lowercase n. If we write out the number 14, the n becomes an E, spelling 40, De Vere's code number. Multiply the number of I's by the number of messages in the shape of a cross, or 3 times 11, we get 33, Christ's number. And if we add up the number of crosses that make up these messages, there's 17, De Vere's Earl number. 17 crosses, God and Vere. And one last idea. The name twice 11 brethren means brothers of the cross, twice 11 equaling 22. Let's count the actual number of crosses that make up all the messages. A letter I is comprised of 2 letter T's or towels, one on top, one on bottom, so this first letter I is 2 T's. 3, 4, an I which is made up of 2 T's, 5 and 6, 7, another I made up of 2 T's, 8 and 9, 10, the cross potent, which is one cross made up of 4 individual crosses for 15, 16, 17. The cross of Lorraine, which is one cross made up of two individual crosses, giving us 20, 21. Okay, now we get to the Rosy scales. Technically it's made up of two crosses, but it's the only rebus that doesn't have anything to do with Jesus. There's the letter I messages, I stands for Iasis, and the rest are taus and actual crosses, the cross potent and cross of Lorraine. If any more crosses were added, we wouldn't get 33, 17, or 14/40. If we count the scales as a single tau, like I'm suggesting, and add up all the other ones, we get 22, or twice 11. I believe this is how the number of messages are to be understood. There's 14, or 40, De Vere's code number. There's 3 messages shaped in a letter I, or Iasis, times 11, the number of messages shaped like a tower cross, equaling 33, the number of Christ. If we count the number of crosses that make up these tau messages, there's 17, De Vere's Earl number. And if we count the total number of taus, including the ones that make up the letter I's, but also understanding the Rebus scales, which isn't a cross but cross-shaped to be a single tau, there's 22 taus, or crosses total, for the twice 11 brethren, or brothers of the cross. In my next video, I might focus on what this group may have known or been about. If anyone has any ideas about the fustian riddle, MOAI, from Twelfth Night, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you.